Good afternoon. We are going to directly dip into the news break that we're getting in of a massive Hajj tragedy. What we are getting in, and initial reports filtering in suggest that over 220 people are feared dead in this massive tragedy that's taken place. The reports that are coming in suggest that there was a stampede which has led once again. The confirmations in terms of numbers that is coming in of the Hajj tragedy is 220 feared dead and over 350 people who are feared injured in this. Well, the numbers are quickly going up. Within minutes, we've seen a spike in the number of fatalities there. And the latest and that I can report right now is 220 dead, I'm afraid, and over 390 who are hurt in this tragedy. We are dipping into wires, and what is filtering in is that this was a stampede that took place, and it's been confirmed. It's a Reuters report which has been confirmed that it was a stampede right outside the Mina mosque. It took place during the ritual of stoning the evil. This is the last phase of Hajj, remind you. Now, Saudi Arabia Civil Defense Directorate has said, and I'm afraid there's a confirmation on that over 200 people are reported dead. The number, in fact, right now stands at 220. And I am afraid that it seems that the fatalities will multiply because it's been a massive stampede that has taken place. Over 350 people are already injured, and those of the dead is 220. Now, when the stampede happened, well, it was at the stone throwing ceremony right outside the Mina mosque. We would try and get you a little perspective on exactly what part this ceremony takes place, where exactly the ceremony takes place. We're going to patch in to our reporters. But essentially, the latest news break, and I'm afraid we are confirming a number here, that's over 200 people who are dead in the Hajj stampede that has taken place. It's the second stampede that has taken place this Hajj season. The second tragedy, I'm afraid, that has taken place in this season, Hajj season, and which is the numbers in terms of fatalities, 220 dead and over 390 who are reported injured as we speak. The confirmation, in fact, came where the civil defense officials have confirmed that 390 people have been injured and over 220 dead. Now, this incident has taken place practically at the eve of Eid, which is tomorrow. I believe we are getting patched in to someone. We're getting in word. All right, we have Uzma Chaudhary. She has undertaken the Hajj pilgrimage this year. She is on the phone line with us. Ms. Chaudhary, appreciate you joining us. Would you just give us some details on exactly when is where exactly is the Mina mosque? That is where this tragedy has taken place. There's been a stampede which has taken place, and during the ritual of stoning the evil.
Yes, there has been a stampede over there, but since I was not there, I was in the tent over here actually, because too many people gathered over there at the same time at about 12 o'clock, which led to all this. And although there are sufficient arrangements and everything, I don't know what led to this stampede. I guess some huge, massive crowd which led to all this. Although there are 3 layers, stories and everything.
Uzma, I believe you're there right now. What do you see around you?
Actually, I am sitting in a camp. I didn't go there, so I won't be able to describe much. And they are not allowing anybody to go towards that side now.
All right, Uzma, have you been able to speak to anyone, because there are scant details which are coming in? The numbers suggest that it's over 220 in terms of fatalities and over 400 injured. Can you confirm that?
I just got a call from someone who was. There asking me not to come there because there has been a stampede, which obviously a huge crowd has led to this stampede at the same time. People who had gone there before managed to cover this thing peacefully, but at that point of time there was a huge crowd over there which has led to this stampede.
All right, Uzma, appreciate you joining us. Keep safe, and we'll try and maybe connect with you later. Maybe if you can gather a little more information for us. We're getting in more word coming in. We have political comments. Najma Hibtullah is on the phone line with us. Ms. Hibtullah, over 220 dead. I'm afraid that's the confirmation coming in, and I believe the numbers will only rise from here on.
Yeah, it's very sad because, you know, the place is small and the rituals are difficult. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you, Mr.
The rituals are difficult because everybody has to be at one place at one time. And so, as I read in the news, that it happened in Mina. Mina is a place where after doing the Hajj, they spend the night somewhere else and then they go early morning to that place called Mina. It's a very small town. The Saudi government has made it big. The roads are big and they have made a lot of arrangements for them. But, you know, there is a ritual which they have to perform, throwing stones on 3 places, symbolically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when they go to these 3 places, everybody wants to throw the stones at the same time. And then Stampede takes place there. Every year, Stampede takes place. But sometimes the tragedy is more, sometimes it is not there. But
you know, ma'am, you know, Ms. Abdullah, I'd just like to come in, and I understand. Are you in touch with the authorities? What is the word coming in there? Any word on Indian casualties? What are you hearing in? Ms. Abdullah, can you hear me, ma'am?
Huh?
Ma'am, are you in touch with the authorities? Any numbers that have been given in terms of Indian casualties in this?
Because this doesn't, and in any case, I have not, because I was coming from my office in the car when I was informed about it. So you are the people who are asking my opinion. I have not found out anything about it.
All right. Ma'am, you know, I understand. I understand that it has just taken place, and I understand you haven't been able, you know, to gather more information on this. So, till now, there is no official intimation to your ministry about any dead Indians are concerned, or in terms of the accident itself.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Appreciate you joining us. Well, that was the Minority Affairs Minister, Ms. Abdullah. No official confirmation has, in fact, been conveyed to the Indian government on this tragedy that has taken place. And understandably, there'll be a lot of Indians there. And maybe what we can do is cut across to our executive editor, Javed Ansari, who himself has undertaken the Hajj and could give us a larger understanding on what exactly has happened. Javed, if you're with us. We were talking to the Minorities Affairs Minister, and understandably the incident has taken place just about half an hour ago to 40 minutes, and no official intimation from to our government here. But are you picking up anything at all in terms of the numbers, especially where Indians are concerned?
Look, we have no official figures as far as of death, not just about Indians. But I have some relatives and friends, I have family there who are performing Hajj, and I had occasion to speak to one of them. They say that the numbers could
Javed,
possibly
I'm afraid, you know, I apologize, I'm going to come in. And the reason that I do that is because we're getting in a lot of, political comments as well as other reactions coming in. Coming right back to you, stay with us. We have Mr. Kamal Farooqi with us, member Muslim Personal Law Board. Mr. Farooqi, first reactions on this massive tragedy. You know, what we can give right now, sketchy information coming in. But I'm afraid I can confirm there's over 200 dead and we're still counting.
It's a very sad thing, in fact, and please understand how it happens. Today is a very important day after having the yesterday the main Hajj in that ground. In fact, then they come back, they pray in the night, and then they come back to have the stoning of the Chatan. In fact. And it's a very huge arrangement which Saudi government has made. In fact, it is a multi-storied kind of thing. Huge roads which have been done, and there are signs of in all the languages where it is said that the people are not supposed to come back from the same route. But unfortunately, what happens that the people, they do not understand the whole thing, and after putting the stones, some of them come back from the same route, and that is where in fact the problem comes. So this is it. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. This is a tragedy, in fact, which is common and which happens almost every 5-6 years. And as far as the government is concerned, the Saudi government, they make all sorts of arrangements. If you have to see and then believe it. In fact, there is a complete helicopters and satellite arrangement and what does happen. But the human psychology is like this: that they come, they go there, they stone there, and then they try to come back on the same road, and that is where in fact the problem comes. Saudi government has taken a very elaborate arrangement But this is a tragedy, and we do not know how many people have been are being dead right now. And how
the
many
numbers
of them are
coming
Indian.
in, the numbers coming in, Mr. Farooqi, and I understand, what you're trying, the point that you're trying to make, that it is not actually the fault of the Saudi government there, because they've made all possible arrangements. It's a human tragedy which has taken place. But in terms of numbers, Mr. Farooqi, over 220 dead, over 400 injured right now, and definitely the numbers are going up. You're seeing them, multiply as we speak.
Right, that's true. That's true, and this happens. This is happening, and I think so. The government again has to look into the whole thing, how to manage the crowd. In fact, this has to be done. All those 4 million people, in fact, they have to do this during a period of just 6-7 hours. They have to go, come back from the Arafah, and then from there, throughout the night, they pray at Muzdalifah, etc., and then they come back. And in the morning when they start, they have to come back to this place. And this 6-7 hours are so crucial, in fact. All the 40 lakh people have to come. Though there are, as I said, there are different floors and there are elaborate arrangement, but this human issue is always there. And some good crowd management we have to learn from the past mistakes or the past tragedies. When I was there in the Hajj Masjid, there is a huge fire in Mina. That was again a man-made fire, in fact, which caused hell of a problem. So these kind of problems, when they are having 30 to 40 lakhs people performing Hajj, and these are the two crucial moments, in fact, wherein the normal deaths occur. Our heart goes for all those, in fact, from wherever they have come, and they have performed this vast thing, in fact. Yes, we have to, as far as we are concerned, Indians, we must educate our people more and more for each and everything, in fact. The Hajj committee should perform all those kind of activities in a larger scale, in fact. Only then we can improve the crowd management. That is what actually I feel.
All right, thank you, Mr. Farooqi, for joining us. We're going to keep trying and getting in more reactions, but for viewers who are just joining us, I want to quickly apprise them of this latest tragic news break coming in from near Mecca. There's been a massive Hajj tragedy. What we are talking is a big stampede that took place today at the Mina mosque during the ritual of stoning the evil. In terms of numbers, the numbers which we can give in right now, I'm afraid, and confirm, is 220 dead and over 400 injured. I want to cut across to our executive editor, Javed Ansari. Once again, want to tell our viewers that he's himself undertaken the Hajj as well, and is also in touch with the Indian government if we've received any information, official intimation at all, of the injured and the fatalities where Indians are concerned. Javed, can you take our viewers and give us perspective and a larger understanding on the kind of numbers that a pilgrimage like the Hajj sees every day? What are the numbers that we're talking about? How many Indians make this pilgrimage every year? And you yourself have been part of the Hajj. How crucial is that phase and that ritual of stoning the evil where we're talking about crowd management?
Look, it's a very critical. These last 4 days is the period when Hajj is performed. They are very critical because all the Hajis from all across the world who've made this annual pilgrimage to converge at Mecca, then proceed to Mina, to Arafat, Muzdalifah, and come back to Mina. This is the final this is the final act where you need to symbolically stone these 3 pillars which symbolize the Satan, where they say that they symbolize the Satan. Now what usually happens is that once they've come back from Muzdalifah, everybody tries to rush to this site at the same time. I remember in 2007 when we landed, the Mufti made it very clear.
Right.
That this is a ritual that can be performed from dawn to dusk. There is no mahurat for this. It's not that if you go at sunrise, you get greater rewards.
Right.
You can perform this at any time of the day. But what usually happens is people rush there. There's a mad rush, and
that's what's happened, Javed. Stay on with us, Javed, because I'm going to keep coming back to you, because that is what happened with what you were saying. There was a mad rush, and that is when the stampede took place. What we'd like to do is get in more eyewitness accounts. I have with me on the phone line Mr. Umar Najib. He's a travel agent from Mecca. Appreciate you joining us, sir. Very quickly, will you tell us the kind of news that is emanating from there? What are you hearing?
I'm in Mina at the moment. Basically, the stampede happened. It is not at the Jamrat where the storming of the Saturn takes place. It is the place where people had already done the stoning of the Saturn, and they were moving down towards their tents in the Mina. In between, a huge crowd from Algerian trains, South African countries. They came down, they intercepted the crowd, and with the turn, it resulted in the stampede. Probably the casualty is quite high from the Algerian countries, but as far as as of now, we could not hear anything from India. It's basically not the Jamrat. It is once the people were done with the stoning of the Saturn, and in between they were intercepted by a crowd where the stampede took place.
All right, Mr. Nazir, once again, just take us through in terms of how this accident happened. You were just taking us through the sequence of events.
Basically, see, I would like to make a point first. The arrangements made by the Saudi government are incredible. The Jamrat is quite high, like the incredible arrangements where the chances of accident are very less. But unfortunately, this incident took place once the people were done with the Saturn, stoning of the Saturn. They were coming down to their tents in the Mina. They were intercepted by a crowd of Algerian countries where they mixed around, and the number, once people do the stoning of the Saturn, they start coming down to their tents. Once they were intercepted, the crowd increased and the stoning took place and the stampede took place. This is how all this happened, and as far as we hear from the local Mutawafis, the people who are in charge of the Mina, they said the casualty should be more. As of now, it has crossed around 220. Number of injured is more than 400 at the moment. The number is going to go up.
Unfortunately, I understand. Appreciate you joining us, sir. We are going to try and keep contact with you, and maybe you can give us more information on this tragedy that has happened. The fatalities right now stand at 220. In terms of injured, the numbers we can unfortunately confirm for our viewers is over 400. What I'd like to do is get as many eyewitness accounts right now and cut across for the very latest. Joining me on Skype is the president of the Asian Information Agency, Jeddah, Mr. Samira Aziz. Miss Samira Aziz. Miss Samira Aziz joins us right now. Samira, if you can hear me, right, would you give us details that are coming in? What are you picking up?
What are the details are with me are the same as the person from the Mecca. He told that the stoning has done and the crowd was coming down, and then it happened suddenly, and most of the Algerian pilgrims are the one who are injured and died. But to me, what the statistics have came to me by the people there, that is like maybe the 500 people are injured, and 235 people have died now until now, and the mobile phone are disconnected there right now, and the stoning ritual is also stopped for some 2 hours.
All right, so the numbers have risen to 235, and Samira, I believe, and unfortunately the numbers are only going to multiply, aren't they?
Yeah. It is sad that maybe the numbers are multiplied. Maybe most of the dead bodies are still there right now, and the rescue operation is going on this time.
All right, Samira, will you give us a timeline of this incident? How it happened? What time exactly? Where?
Actually, the basic reason is it was too hot, and there is a 41 degree temperature there, and the people they were there tired, and when they were coming down after the stoning, it happened suddenly with the crowd, when the crowd intersect with each other, and most of the Algerian pilgrims are the one who died and injured because of the crowd and hot weather. This is what is said.
All right, so maximum fatalities, casualties and injured, I reckon, with what you're pointing out, Samira, are Algerian pilgrims.
Algerian pilgrims, yes. It has basically happened with Algerian pilgrims.
Samira, would you give us a timeline? What time did it occur? And right now, what is, I believe, I understand, like you pointed out, that there is no mobile services. Everything else has been stopped right now. But what are you picking up? What time did this incident occur?
I think it occurred from now on. It occurred some 1 or 2 hours ago.
Okay.
According to me, but news started come to me before 30 minutes ago from the people there.
So about an hour and a half is when this incident took place, Samira. That's right?
I guess so.
All right. Samira, where have the injured been taken?
Injured are taken to the hospitals, nearby hospitals, and first aid is given to them. There are so many rescue teams are already alert there, because this is the peak time when there is a crowd and this type of incident can happen, and this year is something we can say most unlucky year. During previous year, we did not have any such incidents, but this time what happened in the Mecca Grand Mosque, and now this has happened. And while the Saudi government has always taken the good steps, the excellent steps, they always take control of everything they try their best to organize. But if there is a crowd, this can happen, these type of things.
Samira, there's one thing, there are a lot of Indian pilgrims who make their way for Hajj, and there'll be a lot of worried relatives back home. As you pointed out, that there are no services in terms of mobile, there's no way to get in touch with the authorities. If you don't have it right now, and if you do have it right now, would you give out the details? Is there any local number that people from India can reach, so they can maybe ask questions if they have any, try to get in touch with their relatives? Is there any helpline number right now?
There is a helpline number. I will send as soon as possible. There is a helpline from India, which was created immediately after the incident of the Grand Mosque. And Consul General of India in Jeddah, he himself is in Mecca right now, and I guess of time he is himself, Mr. Mubarak, he is himself watching and observing the Hajj.
All right, so you're saying the Indian consulate right now, Samira, once again a confirmation, the Indian consulate general right now is at ground zero, he's at the site of the tragedy.
Mr. Mubarak, he was there. I talked to him just, I think 2 days ago. He was there in Mecca, and he was observing the pilgrims. Even the Indian consulate people, they were sent to Jazan area where there was a Houthis attack done, and there were 2 Indians were dead at that spot, and they helped the Indian people who are the medical staff, and there was a shelling attack by Houthis. So Indian
Samira, in this latest stampede,
was busy there as well.
Right, Samira, in this latest stampede, is there any information that you have of any Indian fatalities?
Right now, I don't have any news about the Indian fatality, but I have only for the Algerian pilgrims.
All right, I understand. I understand. That it's only been about the sketchy information coming in, but Samira, possible for you to, as soon as you can, maybe give us the helpline number that we can start beaming to our viewers, because there are a lot of worried relatives back home here.
Yes, I will do. I'm going to share right now that helpline number.
All right, Samira, what we're going to do is we're going to dip into the latest news coming in, and I'm going to come right back to you. Maybe till then you can gather the numbers.
Sure.
All right, coming right back to you, Samira, for the latest updates. Coming right back to you. Do stay with us, and maybe you can get us the number, the helpline number. We can start beaming to our viewers there. Understandably. And if maybe Javed is with us, our executive editor, he'd be able to talk us through the number of Indians who actually undertake the Hajj pilgrimage every year. Javed, right now would be most important. And, I'd like to give out the latest information that we've been able to get, that most fatalities are that of Algerian pilgrims. Most fatalities, and even the ones injured, are the ones of Algerian pilgrims. Right now, there is no word coming in on any Indian casualty. The Consulate General of India is right now, Mr. Mubarak, is right now at ground zero taking stock of the situation. Hopefully, we'd be able to get in an official confirmation about Indian pilgrims in the next couple of minutes. What we will do is slip into a quick break. We are back with my colleague Samira. Samira, who's joining us with the latest. We'd also cut across to Javed Ansari and keep getting our viewers the latest. Stay with us.